your test is tomorrow. It's going to be over all of this stuff. The only thing that is not on here that is on your test is area of a trapezoid. So we're going to start here. We define the sum of the interior of a polygon. What formula do we use for that? Sum of the interior of a polygon. What formula do we use? We do n minus 2 times 180. So then we do 13 minus 2 times. Yes, ma'am. I am indeed. So what is 11 times 180? 1,980. And then we put degrees on that. Our second one doesn't tell us how many sides it has, so you have to add them up yourself. So 1, 2, did you tell me? 3, 4. So he told us it's 5. So we have 5 minus 2 times 180. 3 times 180. So we get 540. Hopefully you all are getting a chance to do this as well. I know she's got these. She's on top. Hexa. How many sides does that have?
18.
It has 6. Hexagon means 6. That was our last chapter. Minus 2 times 180. So what is 6 minus 2 times 180? 720 degrees. Okay, so that first part is find the sum of the interior of a polygon. N minus 2 times 180. On the first one here, we have to solve it, but the first step is, hey Rio, we have to find the sum of the interior of the shape. How many sides does this shape have?
5.
It has 5, so we do 5 minus 2 times 180. You guys just found that out a minute ago. 3 times 180. What did you get with that? 540. But that's not the whole question. You're solving for the missing angle, angle E. So what we do is we add up all the angles we have and we subtract them from 540. So I did 540 minus the sum of 113 plus 120 plus 110 plus 90. And that's going to give me the measure of angle E. So when we add up this and we subtract it from 540, what value do you get? 107. So your answer here is going to be 107 degrees. The next one deals with exterior angles. They add up to what? They add up to 360. Exterior angles add up to 360. So what we do is we take them, 96 plus 70 plus 65 plus 65 plus the measure of angle 1. I told this to my third hour class. This one here, in every test I see this. That does not mean 1 degree. That means it's number 1 angle that you're searching for. So you put it as the measured angle 1 or you leave it as X, but you don't add it as 1 degree. And you set it equal to 360. So when you add all those up and you subtract from 360, what are we getting? 64. Okay. I'll pause. Octagon. How many sides does an octagon have? 8. Yep. Times 180. 6 times 180. What is 6 times 180? So it should be something like 1,040. Thank you, though. Okay, so it was 1,080. Now we have to figure out what the measure of angle E is. It's a regular polygon. What do we know about all the angles in a regular polygon? They're equiangular. So that means they're all going to be the same measure. So what I do is I put in x's. X1, X1. We know I put in 8 x's because there's 8 angles and 8 sides. So I don't have to do that math. I have 8x. Now to find just one angle, I'm just going to divide by 8. 1080 divided by 8. 135? Our next one, we have to calculate this one. How many sides does this have? 6 sides. 6 minus 2. It's going to be 4 times 180. What's 4 times 180?
720.
720, thank you. So we have 720. Now we're going to add up everything on the inside and set it equal to 720. So I have 12x plus 130 plus 130. What'd you say, hon? Plus 130 plus 140 plus 7x.
Can you tell me everything that we're going to cover with this?
This is essentially what we're doing.
These are like, you give me like titles?
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute, okay? So right now we are adding up what we have. So what do you get with we add 12x plus 7x? 19x plus 130 plus 130 plus 130 plus 140. 5, what'd you get? 530? Does that sound right? Equals 720. We're going to subtract 530. When you do that, what value do you get? 19. What'd you say? 190. We divide over by 19. What's your x value? But that's not what the question asks for. It doesn't ask for you to solve for x. It asks for you to find the value of c. So we take that and we plug it back in. So you have 7x, which is equal to 7 times 10, which is 70 degrees. So we're not doing 8 through 11. Now we're on number 12. How do you find the area of a square? Yep, length times width, side times side. So area equals side squared. So that's going to be 564 feet squared. And then Cam, what number did you get for that?
I got 318096.
This is a great number.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Big number.
It's a big number. Our next one's going to be a big number too, not as big as that one. So how do you find area of a rectangle? Yep, A equals B times H. Base times height. 200 feet times 38 feet. What do we get? 3,600, he says?
7,600.
7,000? Okay. Feet squared. Okay, our next two, I'm going to pause the video and scroll up. Here, we're starting with this. Remember we talked about 2 different methods of finding area of compound figures? The first one is you do the area of each of the pieces, area 1, area 2, area 3, and then you add them together. The second option is to do the whole area and then subtract the parts that are not shaded or not included. In this case, the first option is much easier. So I did mine with area 1, area 2, area 3. So area 1 is pretty much given to us, right? Area 1 has a height of how much?
70.
Yep, 70 inches. And it has a width of 2.5 inches, right? We have area 2. Area 2 has nothing given to us. We know the whole thing is 20. We know this part here is 2.5. And we know this part here is 11. How much does the part that's remaining have to be? So we have a whole thing of 20. And we are already used 2.5 and 11. Yes, sir. So we're going to get, it's going to end up with being 6.5. Kim, let me know if that's what you get, okay?
Yeah.
So we know that we get 6.5 because that number's coming from 20. Thank you. 20 minus 11 minus 2.5. That's what's remaining. Along with that, we need to find our height of this region. We know this whole rectangle here is 70. And then we go down 35. How much is remaining? It's going to be 35. We know that's 35. And we know that because it's 70 minus 35. So for area 2, we know it's going to be 35 inches times 65 inches.
6.5.
It's 6.5, thank you. And then our last one, that would have been bad. A3 is also given to us. We know our height is 55. We know our width is 11. So we have 55 inches times 11 inches. Who can give me area 1? How much? 175
Whoa. Wait.
inches squared. Our second one, we have 35 times 6.5. 227.5. And Ginger, you said you had the last one?
605.
605, like that? Okay. And then we have to add them all up together. When you add them together, who has that one?
We don't have that.
Rena? 1,007.5. Yep, and then we put it on that inches squared. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so if our whole top here is 12 meters, and we use 6 meters here, how much does this one have to be? Got to be 6 meters. So you end up with 6 meters here. So then we're going to calculate that first area, area 1, area 2. Area 1 is going to be 12 meters times 6 meters, which gives me, 72 meters squared. And area 2, we get 5 meters times 6 meters, which gives me 30 meters squared. Total area involves us adding those two up. What's number 2, hon? Where's number 2?
No, 102.
Oh. 102 meters squared. So we have the area, and now we have to find the base. So area of a rectangle is what's formula?
No?
What's the formula for area of a rectangle?
The 1/2? No. Oh, is it just based
Area
on height?
formula.
It's just base times height, yep.
Whoa.
So you have 96 feet squared equals base times my height of 8 feet. We got to get that b all by itself. What do?
We divide the 8 over.
Yep, we divide it over. Divide by 8 feet. Sorry, hon. You end up with 120 feet of a parallelogram. What's our formula? Yep, it's base times height. So area equals base times height. What is my base? What's my height? Yep. 14 times 6. What'd you get, hon? 84 centimeters squared. Yep.
I don't get that.
So, do you guys remember the formula for area of a rhombus? Area equals 1/2 d1 times d2, diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. Remember, the diagonals bisect each other in this. So we know half of it is 3. That means this half here also has to be 3. So that's going to be 6 feet. Over here, this is 2. And this is 2. So 2 plus 2 tells me it's going to be 4 feet. So our total here, we have area equals 1/2. My diagonal 1 is 6 feet. My diagonal 2 is 4 feet. Half of 4 is 2. 2 times 6 is? Yep, 12 feet squared. So, in this problem, you are given the area, and the area is 60 inches squared equals 1/2. Diagonal 1, we don't know. We leave that as D1. Diagonal 2?
D1.
Yep. 10 inches. 1/2 of 10 is what? It's 5, yes. So you end up with 60 inches squared equals 5 inches times diagonal 1. How do we get diagonal 1 to be by itself? Yep, divide both sides by 5. Let's go back here, and we end up with 5 inches. 5. And you end up with 12 inches. Okay, so our formula for circumference is what? C equals 2 pi r. We have area of a circle, which is equal to? Pi r squared. So let's go on here and do the 3 circumference questions first.
Wait a minute, wait. When did we learn?
What we're doing is we do C equals 2 pi r. 2 pi, my radius is what? 7 feet. Once again, it tells you they want it in inches. I'm okay with it just being in feet. So 7 times 2 is 14 pi feet. What is 14 times pi? 43.98 feet. Circumference is the perimeter of a circle, just a different name. So it is not square. We just leave it as feet. Let's do the other 2 questions that we can see, 4 and 5, because they're the same idea.
Is there 7 feet in the parentheses?
It is. It's a 7 feet in parentheses, yeah. So we're going to do number 4. Right now we have this in feet. So we have circumference equals 2 pi r, which is going to be 2 pi 31 feet. 31 times 2. 62. Yep, I said let's do the circumference first, and then we'll go back to the other feet. What is 62 times pi? Okay, get back to math. Next one, we're going to do this in centimeters, cms. 2 pi r. 2 pi. I'm on number 5.
Where does...
Which gives me point... Ooh, I moved my decimal place. I apologize. Should be here. Yep. 0.8 pi. What is 0.8 pi? 2.512. So 2.51 centimeters squared. So area equals pi r squared. Pi, my r is what? So I'm sorry, I didn't hear you say it one more time. Yep, it's 64. Nice job. 64 pi inches squared. And what'd you get? 201. 201.06 inches squared. We're going to not do number 3 yet because that's area of a sector. So number 6 is going to be a very similar thing. Area equals pi r squared. Let's go back. Pi r squared. Do we have the radius in this problem? We don't. So how do we get the radius? We cut it in half. So that's going to be 10. Yep. So this is 10. So you have pi times 10 inches squared. What's 10 squared? That's right. 100 pi inches squared. 100 times pi. Not 14. What? Number 6. Area of a sector. We have our fraction, what you're looking for, you're going to put as an x. That goes on the top. On the bottom goes the area of the entire circle. So, yes, ma'am.
Why is it 1.15?
In the denominator, we put the area of our circle. The area of our circle is pi r squared. So, pi 3 inches squared. What's 3 squared? 9 pi inches squared. What's 9 times pi? 28.27. And then on the other side, you put the degree of your shaded area. Real quick. So the part that we're looking at, let's go here, is going to be this portion of your circle. That's what appears to be shaded. So if the whole interior angle measure of a circle is how much? 360. And 60 is not included in the rest of it. How much is the rest of it? It's going to be 300.
So I need to check how much?
Yes. Over 360. So you do 300 over 360. 360 is the total. And each of these, you're going to have the area of the sector, which is what we're looking for, being an x. And you're going to have this one being 360 in all of them.
What's the answer?
Okay, so we're going to cross multiply. That gives me 28.27 times 300 equals 360x. When you multiply 300 by 28.27, what do you get?
840.
81.
That was it?
That was it.
Okay.
It's so long.
And then we equal 360 divide x. We need to get x by itself, so we've got to divide by 360. We divide by 360. What's our value of x? 23.55? 56, okay. And then this is area, so you need the inches squared.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. Okay, so let's start with number 7. So step 1 is we want to find the area of the circle. So area of the circle is going to be pi r squared. So that's going to give me 400 pi meters squared. What is 400 pi meters squared?
Whatever that number is.
Ooh, not squaring the pi though.
What you mean?
So it's the meters part that's squared. So you said it's 1.6.
1,256.
0.6.
Okay. So then we want the area of the sector, which is what we're looking for. It goes in the numerator.
So this is ridiculous. If you like, okay, right now I don't have my calculator calculator.
Put the area of the sector we're trying to find, x, and the denominator area of the whole circle. Area of the whole circle is what we just found, 1,256.6 equals. Then we put the arc, or the central angle. Yes, ma'am? So now we have the degree of that central angle. That's 90 over the total degrees, which is 360. Okay, we have to cross multiply. You end up with 90 times 1,256.6 equals 360x. What is that number, 1,256.6 times 90?
113,094.
94 like this?
No, 094.
Sorry. Like that?
Yeah.
Better? Okay. Equals 360. X, we got to divide by 360. We divide by 360, what value do you get?
You get 314.15.
And then we write our units of, is it feet in this one or meters? Meters. Meters squared. Oh, so we're on number 9. Our area is going to be pi r squared. That's going to give me 13 times 13 is 169 pi centimeters squared. What is 169 times pi? 530.92. Okay, so in the numerator of our first fraction, it's what we're looking for. We represent it with the x. And the denominator, it's your total area. 530.92 equals. And then we have our shaded central angle, and that's going to be 165 over what is the total interior of a circle, which is 360. Now you're at the point where you cross multiply and solve. You end up with 530.92 times 165 equals 360x. When you multiply those first two together, what do you get? Like this? Okay, we want to get x by itself, so we divide by 360. And what do you get when you do that? 243.33? Okay. Do you guys want a second to finish that one up?
Missing like 2 points.
Okay, so our last one, area equals pi r squared. 7 times 7 is 49 pi meters squared. What is 49 times pi? Yep.
I got you.
It's okay. Rio said he's got this one. So
I got this.
153.86.
That's not what the pop is.
Does that sound right? Okay, can somebody else verify?
What you get? 153?
Yeah, that's what he got.
Yeah, 153.90.
It's the same. Dang.
93 and 86 is not the same thing.
Okay, so let's go to our next one, or the rest of this. You have x over your total area, which is what we just found. 153.93 equals the shaded angle, which is that 240, over the total, 360. Cross multiply. We have 360x equals 153.93 times 240. So if you're going to solve the right-hand side of this, what are you going to get? So what are we going to get? So the key part is this ratio. Coming up with that. 240? For the final answer? So when you multiplied 153.93 times 240.
I got 3694.
I got 3694.3.2.
I didn't put a period.
3694 what?
3.2.
I did 9.5.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did 9.5.
Now we have to divide by 360. When you divide by 360, what value do you get? 2 meters squared. Okay, we have 2 minutes. Do you want us to try to solve or at least set up the other ones really quick?
No.
Okay, so, oh, crudsies. So, okay, sorry, I thought I exited out. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we're just going to finish this up real quick. And we see that we have circumference